Hello, welcome to our back garden on this Easter Sunday at the end of second week of coronavirus lockdown 2020. It feels like an awful lot longer, but I'm not here to talk about that. Most of my friends know that I'm a bit of a renewable energy nut ever since we decided to get solar panels installed on our house about 7 years ago. This is our 2 kilowatt array, which has been reliably pumping lots of lovely free electrons since September 2013. We're registered with the UK government feed-in tariff scheme, so we get modest quarterly payments for supplying electricity to the national grid, but I'm not here to talk about that. Once I'd got the bug, one solar array was not enough. I work from home, from my office in the back garden to be precise. Here it is. It's a lovely little office and it suits me very nicely. A couple of years ago I decided I wanted to put solar panels on the roof of my office as well. However, for boring reasons I won't go into now, I couldn't connect them to the grid like we did our original rooftop array, so I bought and fitted them myself with help from a mate on the Fylde who fits solar panels for a living. So now I've got 12 panels, 300 watts apiece, for a total of 3.6 kilowatts output when they're in full sun. But I can't connect them to the grid, so how do I get good value from these lovely new panels, I hear you ask? Right, this is the mad scientist bit, so I'm going to do the disclaimer now. Whilst what I have done to my office is entirely legal in the UK, it is also monumentally dumb if you don't know what you're doing with mains voltages or lithium-ion batteries. So please, don't try this at home. You could burn your house down, or worse, upset your wife. Probably both. I've built a homemade, solar-powered battery energy storage system out of an old stationery cabinet. It's bolted securely onto the back of the shed and there's a couple of umbilicals feeding the solar power into it from the panels on the roof. So let's have a nosy inside the cabinet of power. First off, there's the big grey box at the top, which is the main system controller. That converts the power from the solar panels to a suitable voltage to charge the batteries, and also converts it to 240 volts mains that I can run my office from. The system is not grid connected. It's an off-grid system, which means that it's impossible for it to supply electricity back into the national grid. However, it does have a switchover function, so I can draw power from the grid if the batteries are empty and there's no sunshine. The sun is shining rather half-heartedly today, so the panels are pulling in about 1.3, 1.4 kilowatts. So, how have I made it? This is a pretty bog-standard laptop battery. If a laptop battery stops working, people take it to the repair shop where they get a brand new laptop battery, and the old one gets slung into a box. And I go round the repair shops and ask them if they've got any old laptop batteries they want to get rid of. Crack them open, pull the cells out, test them and grade them. A lot are no good and have to go off for recycling, but say 60% of them are fine for my needs. These are the ones I've not used. Yes, if you find one that looks like this, don't use it. This is not a good battery. Once I've gathered enough cells together, I solder them up into these 48 volt bricks, test them and plug them into the cabinet. Oh yes, remember kids, don't try this at home. I am a trained professional and you could burn yourself quite badly. So my power cabinet provides power for the office and the pond pump and the filter that are running 24/7 to keep the fishies happy, and the power for the garden shed which powers the lawnmower, etc. It also provides power for the summer house, lighting indoor and outdoor, heater and other vital equipment for my wife's favourite bolt hole, complete with the light fitting chosen by my good wife. The gin fridge. So how well does the system work? How long do the batteries last? I've decided to make this video now because as of lunchtime today, the system has been off-grid for 7 days straight. My office has not drawn a single watt of electricity from the national grid for a week. How much longer it'll go for depends on a number of factors. The amount of daylight hours, summer is obviously much better than winter, how overcast the sky is, the system still generates on a dull day but not as much. Also how much electricity I pull from the batteries. The pond pump only pulls a small amount but it's on all the time, whereas the Flymo pulls a lot of electricity but it's only on for a short while. If If I get to a month off grid, I'll make another YouTube video. I hope this has been interesting. Take care out there, y'all. This has been John Gill.